Chapter 14 New Hokage, New Set of Rules. The sky weeps like the village, Naruto muttered as he walked alongside Sakura and Sasuke toward the Hokage Tower for the funerals of the dozens of ninja that had given their lives in defense of the village. Most notably of these heroes was the Sandaime Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who died when he sealed both the Shodaime and Nidaime Hokages by using the same sealing jutsu that Naruto's father used to seal the Kyuubi into Naruto. The Sandaime was able to seal Orochimaru's arms using the jutsu as well, but the snake Sannin managed to escape with his life. Naruto felt the Kyuubi stir as he thought of the Hibi team. He vowed that the Hibi team would pay for what he had done. Team 7 arrived at the Hokage Tower and was led up to the roof where the memorial was being held. Naruto saw most of the ninja corps already there lined up in rows. Naruto found a spot at the front next to Konohamaru and Iruka. The younger boy was struggling to keep his tears from streaming down his face. Naruto knelt down next to Konohamaru and put his arm around the boy's shoulders. "It's all right, Kono, let it out," Naruto whispered. Konohamaru looked at his adoptive brother with large eyes before burying his face into Naruto's chest, his sobs muffled. Naruto gently rubbed Konohamaru's back as the younger boy's tears soaked his shirt. "It's all right, it's okay." Many of the other ninja watched as the hated demon brat comforted the honorable grandson of the Hokage. They were confused, they were looking at the action of a human, not some demon. "Thanks, Naruto-ni-chan," Konohamaru mumbled against Naruto's shirt. "It's fine, Ototo," Naruto answered. "It's fine to cry in times like this, but don't ever forget that we're here for you and that your grandfather loved you. He loved the whole village, and showed it by giving his life for it. What we need to do now is not waste the precious gift that he has given to us." "Very true, Naruto," Iruka said. "Remember, Konohamaru, those who die never truly leave us unless we let them. Always cherish the memory of your grandfather, hold on to it and live every day of your life the way he wouldn't have wanted you to. Live for the future, not in the past. Remember those who came before us, but never forget to keep going forward." Naruto smiled at his former academy sensei, as did Konohamaru. "Thanks, sensei," the younger boy said. After the memorial had finished, Naruto found himself at the memorial stone, staring at the etched names of his parents. "Hey Tusan, Kaa-chan," Naruto muttered. "How's it going?" Naruto snorted at this. "I'm sure you know this already, but we were attacked by the sound and sand, though Suna was tricked into attacking by Orochimaru. I'm sure Gigi has already told you all about this, and I hope that you'd be proud of me for how I dealt with Gaara. I'm afraid that if it wasn't for Gigi and Iruka-sensei, I would have ended up just like him, angry, crazy, pretty much a killing machine. Hopefully, I got through to Gaara. No one deserves to be alone in his or her lives, they just need someone to be there for them, acknowledge them, to tell them that they are not alone." Naruto took a deep breath and continued. "Tusan, Kaa-chan, Gigi, I hope that you don't think badly of me for this, but I swear that Hibi team will pay for what he did to you, Gigi, and the village. I know that revenge is never that answer, but he's caused so much pain to my precious people, that he has to be stopped," Naruto said. "And I will stop him. I better get going, it's getting late. I'll be back soon enough, I love and miss you all." The next morning Naruto was on his way to meet with his team as Kakashi had called them together to talk with them about their future missions. "Hey Gaki, there you are," a voice called out. It was Jiraiya. "I've been looking for you all morning." "What do you want, Ero-sennin?" Naruto asked, not looking around. "I'm going out of the village on a mission and I want you to come with," Jiraiya said. "What's the mission?" Naruto asked skeptically. "I need to find my teammate, Tsunade," Jiraiya said. "Sensei named her in his will." "Okay, when do we leave?" "Tomorrow, meet me at the gate at 8 a.m., Jiraiya said. "Fine, but you owe me some jutsus because I know that you're just going to run off and peep on women while we're outside the village." Jiraiya frowned. "Deal, I'll teach you one of your father's jutsus while we look for Tsunade." Naruto's eyes lit up, but before he could say anything, Jiraiya vanished in a puff of smoke. Frowning, Naruto leapt off toward Training Ground 7. Sakura and Sasuke were already there, waiting for him, and Kakashi wasn't in sight. "Hey Sakura-chan, Sasuke, any sign of Kakashi-sensei?" he asked. Sasuke just ignored him. "No Naruto, though I'm not surprised," Sakura said. "It's sensei." Naruto nodded. "Say, Naruto, I just wanted to What's wrong Sakura-chan?" Naruto asked, eyeing his teammate whose face was quickly turning red. "I just wanted to thank you Naruto." "For what?" "Sasuke told me that it was you that saved me from Gaara," Sakura whispered, a fierce blush covering her entire face now, matching her hair. "And I wanted to say thank you." Naruto froze as Sakura leant forward and quickly kissed his cheek. Both Naruto and Sakura's faces bloomed into spectacular blushes. Sasuke was watching and frowned as something stirred in his chest. "It's fine Sakura-chan, you're one of my precious people and I promised that I wouldn't let you get hurt," Naruto said. "But I failed, you still got hurt, I'm sorry Sakura-chan." "No Naruto, you did as best you could." "I made the decision to get involved in the fight," Sakura said. "You aren't in fault for me not being strong enough to help." "You're plenty strong Sakura-chan, you faced off against Gaara even though you were scared, that's true strength," Naruto said. "You wanted to make sure that me and Sasuke were safe, you were trying to protect us. And you gave me the strength to beat Gaara, I didn't want him to hurt you or anyone else." Sakura's blush returned full force at the sincerity of Naruto's words. "Are you all right Sakura-chan? Your face is really red, are you sick?" "Baka," Sakura cried as she punched Naruto in the back of the head, sending him crashing to the ground. "Ow Sakura-chan, what was that for?" Naruto whined as he rubbed the back of his head. "Gomen Naruto, you just surprised me there and I overreacted," Sakura apologized. "Oh okay Sakura-chan, no permanent damage done," Naruto chuckled. "I probably shouldn't have gotten so close to you anyway, I'm sorry." Before Sakura could respond, Sasuke interrupted. "Dobe, teach me that jutsu that you used against Gaara," he demanded. "That ball of chakra one." Sakura looked at Naruto, whose face had grown stony and cold. It was extremely noticeable in his eyes, they had changed from bright blue to cold, stormy and steely. "Hell no team, that jutsu is a family jutsu," Naruto said forcefully. "It would be like me asking you to teach me those Uchiha Katan jutsus." "Never, those are my family's jutsus," Sasuke shouted. "It doesn't matter about you, I need that jutsu to kill that man." "No Sasuke, I will not teach you my family's jutsus and don't even think of trying to go whining to the council. You might be their golden boy, but they won't go against the clan's laws about jutsus." "Dobe, you don't have a family. Now teach me that." Sasuke froze as Naruto emitted a truly monstrous ki at the Uchiha. Sasuke dropped to his knees as the pressure increased, rolling off of Naruto in waves. Sakura was struggling to breathe under the ki, but as Naruto was focused on Sasuke, she wasn't receiving a full dose. "I believe we have already had this discussion," Naruto growled, his eyes glowing with rage. "I might not have a family right now, but that doesn't mean I didn't at one point just like you did. Now I will not teach you my family's jutsus." "What's going on here?" Kakashi cried as he suddenly appeared in front of the team. Sasuke was trying to get Naruto to teach him a family jutsu, and when Naruto said no, Sasuke taunted him about not having a family, Sakura quickly explained. Kakashi looked over at the two male members of his team. Naruto had cut off his ki the moment that Kakashi had showed up. Sasuke was struggling to his feet, and sweat was pouring off his face. Kakashi hid a grin at the Uchiha, inwardly praising Naruto for putting Sasuke in his place. "Look, we don't have time for this," Kakashi said. "Our team is going to be broken up for some time since we don't have enough senior ninja to take the higher-ranking missions that the village receives, so I'm going to be away for a while and we won't be taking many missions. The village can't turn these missions away because it would make us look weak and other villages could take advantage." "Is that all, sensei?" Naruto asked. "Yes Naruto, though Sasuke, you and I need to have a talk," Kakashi said flatly, looking down at the dark-haired boy with a steely eye. He put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder and the pair vanished in a swirl of leaves. Hopefully Sensei can get through to Sasuke, Sakura said softly. I don't know, Sakura-chan, Sasuke is getting darker and darker, and I don't know if anyone can get through to him, Naruto said. Oh, I just remembered. I'm leaving the village tomorrow on a mission with Arasenin. We're supposed to go find this Tsunade woman and bring her back to the village. Tsunade of the Sannin, the greatest medical ninja of all time, Sakura gushed. Wow, Naruto, she's like one of the greatest kunoichi in history. Maybe I could become a medical ninja. I'm not the best fighter and I don't have that much chakra, but if I could use medical ninjutsu I wouldn't feel like such deadweight when we're on missions. Come on, Sakura-chan, don't be like that, Naruto said. You're plenty strong, but if you want to be a medical ninja, go for it. I'm sure you'll become the best one there is. Sakura blushed. Thank you, Naruto. Who's Arasenin? She asked. He's this white-haired old man with red stripes on his face and wears this really weird costume, Naruto said. I think his actual name is Jiraiya. Jiraiya. Of the Sannin, Naruto, what are you doing calling one of the strongest ninja in the village something like that? Sakura scolded. But Sakura-chan, he's a huge pervert, Naruto whined. He admitted it when I first met him before the finals. He calls himself a super pervert. He's the one who wrote those books that Kakashi-sensei allows reads. Sakura's eyes narrowed. Oh really? Well then Naruto, you better not come back and be a pervert yourself, or I will have to hurt you, she said with a sweet smile that sent shivers up Naruto's spine. Hi Sakura-chan, Naruto said. The next day Naruto was waiting for Jiraiya at the main gates. Where is Arasenin? He said to meet here at 8 a.m., he's probably gone off and peeping at the hot springs. Why do I even bother with him, even if he's my godfather? What you looking for, Gaki? A voice asked from behind Naruto. Kuso. Naruto cursed as he leapt into the air and spun around, a kunai appearing in his hand. It was Jiraiya, who was looking down at him with a smug and amused grin. Damn you, Arasenin, what was that for? Just seeing if you were paying attention, a ninja must always be aware of his surroundings, Jiraiya lectured. Now come on, let's get moving. We're burning daylight. So where are we going to look for this Tsunade? Naruto asked as they walked down the path leading away from the village. Well, she is a big gambler, and my contacts have heard of a woman who's been hitting it big in Tanzaku town, so we'll check there first. Fine, now what's that jutsu of my father's that you're going to teach me? Naruto asked. Behold, Jiraiya said. He stuck out his hand and a swirling ball of chakra appeared. Jiraiya gave Naruto a smug grin, but that grin vanished when Naruto looked unimpressed. What gives, Gaki? I just show you an awesome. Jiraiya trailed off as Naruto created his own Rasengan. What the? I learned a Rasengan before the Chunin exams. I found it in my dad's scrolls and have been working on it since my mission to the wave, Naruto said. So is that all you have to show me? If it is, then I'm heading back to the village. Now hold on, Gaki, I have some jutsu scrolls that you can have, Jiraiya said. I was planning on teaching you the Rasengan on this trip, but since that's a moot point, you can use this trip as some more worldly experience outside the village. Jiraiya tossed Naruto 2 scrolls. Those are a futon and a Raiten scroll. I don't know any Suiten jutsus, but I'm sure that when we get back, you can talk to Kakashi about some. Naruto just opened the futon scroll and began reading it, ignoring the older man. It took the pair a day and a half to reach the gambling center of Tanzaku town. Jiraiya had Naruto rent a room for the pair of them at a local motel before jetting off in search of his teammate. Naruto went to the nearby forest to train his new jutsus. As night began to fall, Jiraiya appeared and the pair went off to get some dinner. So did you find her? Naruto asked as the pair of Konoha shinobi made their way down Tanzaku's main street. Not yet, I have a feeling that she's here in town, Jiraiya said. What does Tsunade look like? Naruto asked. Well, if my information is correct, the disguise she's using is of a 20 to 25-year-old woman, with blonde hair and a diamond-shaped tattoo on her forehead, Jiraiya said. She's probably traveling with her assistant Shizune, who's roughly the same age as Tsunade's disguise with black hair and eyes, and she carries a pig that has a pearl necklace. You mean like that, Naruto said, pointing across the street to an open bar, where two women were sitting in a booth. One had golden blonde hair and the other dark hair and was holding a squirming pig in her arms. Jiraiya's eyes almost fell out of their sockets as he stared at the pair of women. Tsunade, the Sannin, called out as he rushed across the street to the bar. The blonde-haired woman looked up and Naruto saw her eyes widen. Jiraiya, the woman shouted. What the hell are you doing here? What, can't an old teammate show up out of the blue to see you, Jiraiya said. Don't give me that excuse, you old fool, Tsunade snapped. Now what are you doing here? You've been recalled back to the village. Sensei was killed and you were named in his will, Jiraiya said. And he named you his successor. Tsunade's eyes widened slightly, as her assistant gasped. Forget it, I swore that I'd never set foot in that place again, Tsunade growled. So you're just a coward then? Naruto asked, stunning Tsunade, Shizune and Jiraiya. What did you say, brat? Tsunade snarled. You heard me, I read all about you, Naruto said. You've been running your entire life. I'm sorry your brother and boyfriend died, but that doesn't give you an excuse for being a coward. I dare you to say that again, Tsunade growled, grabbing the front of Naruto's jacket. You're a coward, just running away from your problems, Naruto said, calmly looking into Tsunade's furious eyes. You think that just because you've lost someone close to you gives you the right to run away? Gigi wanted you to come home, though I don't know why he would want a coward like you to come back to the village. That's it, I don't have to take this from a brat like you, Tsunade snapped. Let's take this outside. Tsunade, you do know who this is, don't you? Jiraiya asked. No, and I don't care. He could be Kami himself, no one calls me a coward, Tsunade snarled. Let's go then, let's see how strong Tsunade of the Sannin really is. Naruto said, getting up from his seat and walking out to the street. Tsunade followed him with Shizune and Jiraiya following close behind. The street was empty as Naruto stood roughly 20 feet from Tsunade. I can't believe I'm even doing this, Tsunade scoffed. You're just a punk, one finger is all I'm going to need, she said, raising a single finger. We'll see, Naruto said softly. Kai! Naruto suddenly vanished from Tsunade's vision. Looking for me, a voice whispered behind her. Tsunade whirled around but no one was there. How can you think of beating me with a single finger, if you can't even see me? Show yourself, you little brat! Tsunade shouted. She reared a fist back and punched the ground in front of her, shattering it and creating a massive fissure. So you have some massive strength, that's it? Naruto's voice mocked from around the female Sannin. Let's see how you handle this. Tsunade whirled around in time to see Naruto standing behind her, holding a swirling ball of blue chakra. Rasengan! Naruto roared, throwing his arm forward toward Tsunade. She quickly leapt backward just as Naruto slammed the ball of chakra into the ground where her feet had been a second earlier. Jiraiya, what the hell were you thinking teaching him the Rasengan? Tsunade cried, pointing an accusatory finger at her former teammate. It's his heritage and I didn't teach it to him, he learned it on his own, Jiraiya said. Tsunade spun around looking at Naruto in shock. I know everything, Daibwa, godmother, Naruto growled. Who my parents were, what my father did, who my godparents are. At least Arasenin had a legitimate excuse to be absent, what about you? Naruto accused. Tsunade flinched, while Shizune looked at her master in shock. Come on, Arasenin, let's go. She's obviously too much of a coward to face her problems and come home. Stop calling me that, Gaki, Jiraiya growled. Well, Tsunade, you have a week to decide what you'll do. And know that if you don't decide to come back, the next Hokage might just name you and Shizune and send hunters after you. Jiraiya and Naruto walked off, leaving Tsunade standing in the middle of the street shivering with Shizune looking at her master in stunned confusion. Where are you going, Gaki? Jiraiya asked the next morning as Naruto made to leave their motel room. I'm going back to that forest to train, Naruto answered. Just because this mission is a failure doesn't mean I can't do some training. The blonde vanished out the window, leaving Jiraiya watching with an arched eyebrow. Naruto made his way to the clearing that he had found the previous day while training. He created 50 clones and had each work on one of the jutsus from the scrolls that Jiraiya had given him. Each hour Naruto would dispel the clones, take a 30-minute break before starting over. It was nearly dark when Naruto decided it was time to head back to the motel. What do we have here? A voice chuckled from the treetops as Naruto neared the edge of the forest. Naruto looked up to see two men, wearing black cloaks with red clouds on them. The taller one also had something wrapped in bandages on his back with what looked like a sword hilt sticking over his shoulder. Hello there Naruto-kun, you're going to have to come with us now, the shorter man said, his voice emotionless. The man lifted his straw hat to reveal two glowing red eyes with 3 black spots in them. The Sharingan. Naruto realized. Who are you two? He asked, trying to stall for time. Who we are doesn't matter Naruto-kun, come along quietly, the red-eyed man said softly. Oh come Itachi, let me cut his legs off, the taller man said. He reached up to his back and grasped the sword hilt. Leader Sama says all we need to do is bring him in alive, and besides if he doesn't have legs, the brat can't run away. No Kisame, Itachi said. Naruto's eyes widened. This is Uchiha Itachi, Sasuke's older brother and the man who killed his own clan, Naruto thought. I've got to get out of here, I can't fight Itachi, let alone whoever this blue-faced guy is. Sorry but my parents told me never to go anywhere with strangers, Naruto said. And besides, I don't want to go anywhere with you Weasel-san, Naruto added. Itachi's eyes widened slightly. I see Naruto-kun, you do recognize me, Itachi said with a minuscule smile. However, you still need to come with us. I don't believe that you went all crazy and killed your clan just to gain more power Itachi, so I'm thinking you were forced to do it whether it be because you were ordered to or something happened that made you do it. I don't think Gigi would have given an order to wipe out an entire clan unless he had no other choice, or someone else went over Gigi's head. Itachi, let's just get the Gaki, he's obviously trying to stall us, Kisame barked as Itachi was staring at Naruto. That's it. Kisame pulled his sword from his back and swiped it at Naruto, who leapt backward though he felt something pull at him as he pushed his chakra into his legs to jump away. You're not getting away that easily Gaki, Kisame chuckled darkly. Taju Kage Bunshin. Naruto cried and suddenly the clearing was filled with Narutos. Kisame, he's trying to confuse us, Itachi barked. We have to get rid of these clones quickly or he's going to escape. Right. Suiten Tsunami Bakufu. Kisame shouted. Water release tidal wave blast. A massive amount of water spewed from Kisame's mouth and built up into a giant wall of water that flooded the clearing, dispelling the clones. The water finally receded and Itachi and Kisame looked around to see that Naruto was nowhere in sight. Kisame, we're retreating, Itachi ordered. Kisame looked ready to argue but stopped by a glance from Itachi. Naruto-kun is less than a mile from the town. By the time we catch him Jiraiya will have found him. We can't fight one of the Sannin, least of all Jiraiya. There you are Ero Sennin. Naruto cried as he crashed into motel that pair had been staying at. Care to tell me why Uchiha Itachi is after me? Jiraiya paled. What? He asked weakly. Itachi and this blue fish-like guy showed up as I was getting ready to come back and demanded that I come with them, Naruto said. So care to tell me why an S-rank Nuke is after me? Jiraiya sighed. Come on Naruto, this information shouldn't be revealed where everyone can hear it, he said. The pair retreated to their room where Jiraiya set up several seals. Okay look, I didn't want to have to tell you this until you were ready but recently I've come into some information that there is a group of very powerful ninja out there that are attempting to gather all the Biju, Jiraiya said. Itachi is one of them, though I don't know what their purpose is. Also, the blue man, did he look like a shark? Naruto nodded. That's Hoshigaki Kisame, a former swordsman of the mist and an S-rank nuke in his own right. So they're after the fox, Naruto said. Jiraiya nodded. Orochimaru was once a member of this organization, called Akatsuki, Jiraiya said. Naruto's eyes narrowed at the name of the snake Sannin. But fled after being beaten by Itachi. I'm going to kill that Hibitin one day, Naruto growled. He's going to pay for what he did. Gaki, you're years away from even coming close to defeating Orochimaru, and besides, Jiraiya said, his face unusually serious. Killing the snake is my job. Anyway, how in the hell did you get away from Itachi and Kisame? I made a ton of Kage Bunshin and then scattered them to confuse them, Naruto said. I got lucky that they underestimated me. Jiraiya nodded. You're right, you did get lucky to get away from them, he said. While I don't think they'll try to get you again, from now on I'll be taking a closer look into your training. So how have you been coming with those new jutsus I taught you? Jiraiya asked, 4 days later. What do you mean taught me? Naruto scoffed. All you've done is given me 2 scrolls, I've had to learn everything for myself. Point but Naruto, you're not a kid anymore, Jiraiya said. You just get everything you want handed to you, you have to earn and learn for yourself. Naruto nodded at this, he didn't want to be like Sasuke just thinking everything must be given to him. So how have they been coming? Pretty good, I've nearly got them both down, Naruto said. I actually have been wondering if you'd think it would be a good idea for me to get a weapon, like a sword. Maybe something I could channel my chakra through since I have wind and lighting as my elements? Jiraiya looked thoughtful. You know, that's not that bad of an idea. Maybe a Tonto or a Ninjato, I think there's a weapons shop in town that you can check out. Go ahead and check that out, I'm going to find Tsunade. Naruto nodded and leapt off into town. Jiraiya sighed as he headed into town. He had a feeling where Tsunade would be at this time of day, and made his way through the crowd to a local bar, where sure enough he spotted the golden blonde head of Tsunade. You know, I remember once upon a time you would have never touched a drop of sake, Jiraiya said as he sat down next to Tsunade. Tsunade scoffed. That was a long time ago, she muttered. And you know why? Yeah, then I guess that the Gaki was right, Jiraiya said. We're both cowards. Tsunade looked at Jiraiya in shock. We both made a promise to Minato and Kushina to look after Naruto but we failed. We both ran off to deal with our own problems and left Naruto to fend for himself in a village that despised and feared him for something that he didn't have any control over. I went after Orochimaru, thinking I could bring my best friend back, and you tried to drown your misery in sake and gambling. Tsunade looked both angry and shamed. You know why I can't go back there, after all that place has taken from me, she whispered. You think you're the only one who has had someone special die before their time, Jiraiya growled. I saw my student, who I thought of as a son, die alongside his wife, who I thought of as a daughter, well before their time. I watched as my best friend succumb to the darkness in his heart and then kill our sensei. I suppose you heard about the invasion a couple weeks ago. Tsunade nodded. Orochimaru was the one who killed him. The snake used the Edo Tensei to revive your grandfather and granduncle. Sensei used the same jutsu that Minato used to sacrifice himself to stop them. The village is weak right now. Iwa has been looking for an opportunity like this ever since the end of the Third Great Ninja War, and I'm surprised that they haven't already made moves. Do you really want someone like Danzo to become Hokage? Tsunade growled at the name of the bandaged elder. We need someone to take up the mantle. No, I already told you that I would never return to the village after what happened, Tsunade snapped. What about you? You could become Hokage. Me, Jiraiya laughed. No, I'm not suited for the hat, and besides with my spy network I can't stay in the village for long periods of time. And I don't have the pedigree either. I gave up that life long ago, Swanda said. Then I guess Naruto was right, you are just running away from your problems. To think that the woman that I feel in love with is a coward, Jiraiya said as he stood up. Swanda froze and slowly turned to face her teammate. Arigato Haim, I hope that you find what you're looking for. And more importantly, I hope that you can live with your decisions. Tsunade watched Jiraiya leave the bar without another word. When she lost sight of him, she turned back to her dish and was surprised to see several ripples in the sake dish. Then she realized that she was crying. Kabuto, have you found her? Orochimaru hissed out of the darkness. Yes, Orochimaru-sama, she's in Tanzaku town, Kabuto said. Though she's not alone. It seems that Konoha has some plan for Tsunade as well. Jiraiya is in town as well. Along with Naruto-kun. Interesting, Orochimaru hissed. Though it is nothing you should concern yourself with, Swando will heal my arms as I know her weakness and just the thing to convince her. What will you do? I will grant her fondest wish, Orochimaru cackled. The snake's laughter filled the chamber, echoing all around the pair. What can I do for you, young man? An older man asked as Naruto entered Tanzaku town's weapons shop. Naruto immediately sized up the man, who looked to be roughly the same age as Jiraiya but with brown hair and eyes, as well as a scar crossing the majority of his face. Naruto could tell that the man was a former ninja by the way he carried himself, graceful and aloof yet always alert. I'm looking for a weapon, possibly a sword or something similar, Naruto said. I want something that my opponents wouldn't be expecting. Well, we have plenty of swords in all different forms, so why don't you take a look around and see if anything catches your eye, the man said. Naruto nodded and walked away from the counter in search of his weapon. A sword would be cool and I would make sure it is able to channel chakra Naruto thought. I don't know if a sword would work for me though, I'm fast and agile and I'm more of a close combat, in-your-face type of fighter. So a sword might not be the best, maybe something like claws. They would increase my reach and if I get them with the right metal they could channel chakra, that reach could be even more. Then out of the corner of his eye, Naruto spotted a pair of arm bracers of dark gray. They looked much like what Naruto had seen Umbu members wear whenever he caught them watching him or returning from missions. He walked over and picked up one of the bracers and slid it onto his forearm. The bracer was a little loose, though it had straps that would allow him to tighten the bracer to his forearm. / picture the forearm weapons from Assassin's Creed. Oh, I see that you found something, the weaponsmith said. Now that's interesting, those have been around for a very long time and yet no one has even taken a glance at them for some reason. Why? They look like arm bracers that Umbu wear, shouldn't they be in the armor department? Naruto asked. Normally, you'd be right but these are special, the man said. They have a hidden blade in them that can be released from them to surprise your opponents. Naruto's eyes widened as a 12-inch blade shot out of the gauntlet. Awesome! Naruto thought. This could be what I'm looking for. How much? He asked. For the pair, 70,000 ryo, the man said. Naruto blinked. That will nearly drain Gamachan but then. Deal. I do have a question though, Naruto asked. Are these blades able to conduct chakra? The weaponsmith grinned. No, but the blades can be removed and replaced with ones that can. Though it will cost extra, he said. I think that I'll just take the gauntlets for now, I don't have enough to get the chakra conducting blades as well, Naruto said. The man nodded. Naruto pulled out his wallet and paid for the bracers before leaving the weapons store. He felt that he could get new blades for his new equipment back in Konoha. As he made his way back to the hotel, Naruto practiced releasing and retracting the blades as well as getting used to the new weight on his arms. The next morning, Naruto showed Jiraiya his new acquisition to which the Sannin smirked and nodded. He then handed Naruto several more scrolls for Naruto to work on. Naruto created 100 clones and split them up into 4 groups, 25 working on the Kage Shuriken Bunshin, 25 working on Raiten Tenkakado, Lighting Release Lighting Cut, 25 working on Suiten Kiriataru, Water Release Slash, and the final 25 were sent to work on Futon Shinkokenai, Wind Release Vacuum Sphere. The original Naruto worked on using his new bracers and hidden blades in conjunction with his taijutsu style. So what are we going to do about the old hag? Naruto asked as he took a break from training for lunch. Don't call her that, Jiraiya snapped before he sighed. But I'm not sure. How long have you been in love with her? Naruto asked. For as long as I can remember, the older man answered without hesitation. But she never cared for me the way I do for her. Let me guess, she fawned over the cool, quiet genius and would blow you off any time you tried to do something to impress her. Jiraiya gave a dry chuckle. No, Tsunade didn't have those type of feelings for Orochimaru, but she did always compare me to him. And I never seemed to measure up. I know how that feels. Sakura-chan did the same between Sasuke team and me during the academy and when we first became a team, but I think she's starting to see him for what he is and has stopped comparing me to him. The rest of the week passed without much incident, as Jiraiya met with Tsunade each night trying to convince her to return to the village, but every night Tsunade would reject him and storm off with Shizune trailing after her. So now what are we going to do? We gave the old hag until today to make up her mind and she has just blown us off, Naruto said. Are we going to head home now? No, let me try one more time and then we'll head back to the village, Jiraiya said. Come on, let's find her. Suddenly an enormous explosion rent the air. Naruto and Jiraiya spun around and saw a pillar of smoke rising from the other side of the village. They looked at each other before leaping off. The scene that they came upon was one of destruction and fear. Tsunade and Shizune were staring down at two easily recognizable figures. Roughly 50 feet from the two women were Orochimaru and Kabuto. Naruto and Jiraiya watched as Orochimaru and Kabuto sped towards Tsunade and Shizune. Kage Shuriken Bunshin! Naruto roared, throwing several shuriken between the two groups. The 5 shuriken multiplied into over 100. Orochimaru and Kabuto split apart and leapt backward to avoid the deadly hail of spiraling metal. Naruto and Jiraiya leapt down and landed next to Tsunade and Shizune. Nice job, Gaki, Jiraiya said, not taking his eyes from the two sound ninja. Looks like my training has been paying off. Naruto rolled his eyes. Whatever, Ero Sennin. He turned to Tsunade and Shizune. What the hell are you two doing talking with this Hebe team? He asked. Don't you know he was the one who attacked your home and killed the Sandaime? Both Tsunade and Shizune flinched at this. Kukuku, well hello there Naruto-kun, Orochimaru hissed. I see that you have grown since we last met. You look uglier than ever, Hebe team. Tell me, how's your stomach after I hit you with that Rasengan? Naruto taunted. You've got a lot to answer for, you and your little boy toy sidekick. Jiraiya and Tsunade had to hide grins at Naruto's comments. You do seem to like younger men, the four-eyed bastard and Sasuke team. Hey Kabuto, did Hebe Roriken give you a nice hickey as well? Does he do that to all the boys he likes? Kabuto frowned at the blonde. Now then Naruto-kun, what's with the face? Or you all talk like at the Chunin exams, the glasses-wearing man chided. Quiet you traitor, I thought that there was something slimy about you back then, Naruto growled. You knew too much to just be a genin. So how long have you been playing with Hebe team's kunai? Jiraiya snorted but then paled as a flash of Orochimaru and Kabuto playing with each other's kunai burst into his head. Kyuso Gaki, don't even think about that, he shuddered. Orochimaru-sama is extremely wise and powerful, I am honored to be his subordinate, Kabuto said proudly. Whatever floats your boat, but unfortunately you are both traitors to Konoha and are going to die, Naruto snarled. Especially you Hebe team, I'm going to make you pay for killing my grandfather. No Gaki, both of these two are well out of your league. I know you're strong for your age, but the snake is one of the Sannin, and 4 eyes is equal to Kakashi, Jiraiya said. The snake is mine, Tsunade, you and Shizune take Kabuto. Naruto growled but stepped back. A sharp breeze flew across the area, almost as if nature itself was gearing up for battle. Suddenly Jiraiya surged forward with blinding speed and launched a devastating spin kick to Orochimaru's head. The snake Sannin managed to duck under the kick but wasn't able to evade the snap kick that caught him in the chest, sending him flying away. Kabuto dove toward Jiraiya, his hands glowing blue. However, Shizune appeared in front of him and spat several sunbon needles at the gray-haired youth, forcing him to leap backward to avoid being hit. You're mine, Orochimaru. Jiraiya roared as he flew at his former teammate. Naruto watched in awe as the two Sannin did battle. Even if Orochimaru was weakened due to the Sandame's jutsu that took away his arms, the snake Sannin was like a cockroach. He just seemed unkillable, able to evade any mortal blow that Jiraiya. A cry of pain brought Naruto out of his trance. He turned to see Kabuto standing over Shizune with a vicious and bloodthirsty grin on his face. Kabuto raised a curved kunai, ready to strike down and end the dark-haired woman's life. Tsunade was shivering not feet from her assistant, her face spattered with blood though it looked like it wasn't hers. Enough! Naruto roared. Kai! He released his gravity seals and sped off toward Kabuto. Clang! The sound of metal slamming against metal rang through the clearing. Kabuto was stunned at the sight of Naruto suddenly appearing in front of him, blocking his kunai strike with a blade that had sprung from a gauntlet on Naruto's arm. Sorry you traitorous scum, but I won't let you hurt anyone else, Naruto growled as he pushed Kabuto back. The older man disengaged and leapt back. Well, Naruto-kun, those are some interesting weapons you have there? Kabuto sneered. But, do you have the ability to wield them in combat? Time to find out, Naruto growled, flicking his wrist and deploying the left-hand blade from its hidden sheath. Back off, Four Eyes, I might not like the old hag, Tsunade's vein twitched, but Gigi wanted her to become Hokage. Though I don't know why Gigi would want a coward to succeed him, but he had his reasons, so I can't let you hurt her. You're out of your league, Naruto-kun, you'll never become Hokage if you die here. That doesn't matter. I live by my word, and I never go back on it. So I will not die before I become Hokage, but if you think you can prove me wrong, bring it, Naruto growled. Silly Naruto-kun, throwing away your life so easily. Well, if you're so willing to meet the Shinigami, I will oblige, Kabuto snarled, drawing another curved kunai. You first. Naruto vanished and Kabuto gasped in pain. Looking down he saw a thin blade sticking out of his stomach. Looking over his shoulder, Kabuto saw Naruto behind him with his right arm and hidden blade extended. Enjoy hell, Naruto whispered as he pulled the blade from Kabuto's back. Flicking the blade to clean it, Naruto sheathed the blade and began walking towards Tsunade and Shizune. Both looked stunned at the ease and efficiency in which Naruto took down his opponent. Where are you going, Naruto-kun? We're not done yet, a very smug voice chuckled from behind Naruto. The blonde spun around and saw Kabuto slowly get to his feet, holding his stomach, his hands glowing green. Did you really think that you could kill me so easily? Naruto shuddered as flashbacks to the bridge in Nami came back to him, and the ease in which he cut down the thugs and mercenaries on Dada's payroll. He still had nightmares about that day. How did you survive that? I know Naruto hit a vital point, Shizune asked. I'm not just useful to Orochimaru-sama as a spy but also for my medical ninjutsu and recuperative abilities, Kabuto gloated. I can heal nearly any injury with enough chakra. I see, well then it seems I have to kick things up a notch, Naruto goaded, while inwardly sweating. Kyuso, this is going to be much harder than I thought. I was hoping that that blow would kill him. I got lucky and he underestimated me like Itachi and Fishface, but he won't anymore, Naruto thought. I need to finish this quick. Kabuto might not have as much chakra as I do, but he's much more experienced and probably is holding back somewhat. Kabuto surged forward, a kunai extended in front of him. Slashing downward to end the fight quickly, the gray-haired youth was not surprised to find his strike blocked by a kunai of Naruto's. The older teen pushed down on the smaller teen, wanting to use his greater height and strength to force Naruto to submit. Naruto-kun, don't let him touch you, Shizune cried out. He's using Chakura no Mesa, Churka scalpel, technique. The what? Naruto shouted back. It's a medical ninjutsu that doctors use in surgery, but if one is skilled enough, the jutsu can be used in battle to attack an opponent's inner organs, Shizune explained. Correct? Kabuto laughed. So what will you do now, Naruto-kun? This, Naruto answered. He leapt backward, made several hand signs and shouted out, Kage Shuriken Bunshin. Nearly 100 shurikens appeared in mid-air and streaked toward Kabuto. The sound ninja suddenly sunk into the ground. Naruto landed and looked around for his opponent. Naruto cried as he felt something grab his ankles, as well as he felt something snap in his legs. Turning around, Naruto saw Kabuto rising from the ground like a ghost. "It's over, Naruto-kun, I've cut all the tendons in both of your legs," Kabuto chuckled. "The fox inside you might be able to heal you, but it will be too late." The sound ninja raised a hand, glowing, and stabbed Naruto in the back. The blonde-haired boy's eyes widened and gasped. Shizen cried out. Tsunade looked on in shock as Naruto collapsed to the ground, clutching the back of his ankles. "Naruto!" Tsunade cried out in horror. "What do you want, you old hag?" a welcome and familiar voice asked from behind Kabuto. It was Naruto. "Kage Bunshin!" Kabuto snarled as the Naruto in front of him vanished in a puff of smoke. Some Kiri ninja tried the same trick during the Chunin exams, and that's one of Kakashi-sensei's favorite maneuvers, Naruto answering the unasked question. A Rasengan formed in his hand, and Naruto surged forward, slamming the Rasengan into Kabuto's back. The sound ninja cried out in shock and pain as he was sent flying away before he slammed into a boulder, leaving a large crater. Silence reigned over the battlefield as Naruto panted. He had put as much chakra into that Rasengan as he could and still keep it stable, just like against Gaara, to ensure that Kabuto was done for good. Jiraiya grinned at his student. "Great job, Gaki," the white-haired Sannin. He then turned back to his opponent, who Jiraiya was happy to see was looking stunned. How could that boy defeat Kabuto? Orochimaru thought as he looked at Naruto. This boy can't be allowed to survive. If he continues improving like this, he would become a very large threat to my plans. He must die even if the Akatsuki have plans for him. Orochimaru launched himself from his perch, speeding toward Naruto who was still bent over trying to catch his breath. "No!" Jiraiya cried as he raced after Orochimaru. A sword extended from the snake Sannin's mouth, dripping with something. Naruto looked up at Jiraiya's cry in time to see the sword plunge into his chest, sliding between his heart and lungs. Naruto coughed, blood flowing from his mouth as he stared into the yellow silted eyes of Orochimaru. Naruto looked down at the sword sticking out of his chest. "So, this is the sword that killed Gigi?" Naruto whispered. Orochimaru's eyes gleamed with malice. "Why yes, Naruto-kun," he hissed. "This was the weapon that killed Sarutobi-sensei, how appropriate that I used the same blade that killed Konoha's Hokage to kill Konoha's greatest weapon." "I see," Naruto gasped. "Well then let me return the favor, using the jutsu that made my father Hokage instead of you." "Rasengan!" Naruto roared, slamming the swirling blue ball of chakra into the side of Orochimaru's head. "Naruto!" Jiraiya cried out as a large explosion consumed the pair. When the smoke finally cleared, Jiraiya rushed over to see Naruto's body lying in a crater, his chest barely moving as his clothes quickly became sodden with blood. "Tsunade!" Jiraiya shouted. "I need you to heal him quickly, he won't survive much longer." "It's too late," a voice chuckled from across the crater. It was Orochimaru. "The poison in my blade will kill him before Tsunade even has a chance to use her medical ninjutsu." "I wouldn't count Naruto out yet," Jiraiya snarled, still trying to comprehend the fact that Orochimaru was still alive after receiving a Rasengan point blank to the head. "How the hell are you still alive?" "It was a close thing, Jiraiya-kun, but I have gone further than any towards the goal of immortality," Orochimaru gloated. Jiraiya then noticed that Orochimaru's face was different, it had seemingly torn to shreds and yet underneath it, a young woman's face leered out of Orochimaru's body. "So you did it then, you completed that jutsu," Jiraiya spat disgusted. "Tsunade, I need you to take care of Naruto while I finish this pathetic excuse of a man off." "Oh Jiraiya-kun, I am much more than a man and soon, when I acquire the Sharingan I will perfect my technique and become immortal," Orochimaru laughed. Shizen shivered at Orochimaru's laugh as she raced over to Naruto's body and immediately set to work. However, almost instantly she knew that she wouldn't be able to heal everything in time to save Naruto. She turned to her master, who was trembling like a scared puppy and staring at the injured boy. "Tsunade-sama. I need your help, I can't stop the bleeding and extract the poison at the same time," she cried. However, her master didn't seem to recognize her plea. Growing frustrated at her non-responsive master, Shizune created a Kage Bunshin and sent it over to Tsunade. Slap! The sound of Shizune's hand connecting with Tsunade's face echoed across the battlefield. "Lady Tsunade, get a hold of yourself," the clone shouted. "Shizune needs your help to heal Naruto-kun, or he will die. Stop sniveling like a little girl and help your assistant save the life of your godson." Tsunade looked up at the Shizune clone with wide eyes. "You know, Naruto-kun was right. You are a coward. You think that just because you've lost someone close to you gives the right to act like a spoiled child. You think I don't miss my uncle every bit as you do, and I'm sure right now, he would ashamed of you, as would your brother, grandfather and great-uncle. They gave their lives for the village and what they believed in, and you are tarnishing the sacrifice they made by acting this way." Tsunade flinched at her assistant's words. The faces of her deceased fiancé, younger brother, grandfather and great-uncle flashed in front of her eyes, all looking disappointed in her and her running away from her problems and berating anyone who called her on it. "That's enough, Shizune," Tsunade whispered, though her tone had an edge of command to it. The Shizune clone blinked before stepping back as her master rose to her feet and suddenly knocked her aside, dispelling the clone, before racing over to the original Shizune and Naruto. "What's the situation?" Tsunade demanded as she knelt down next to Shizune. Luckily the blade passed between his heart and lung, but it seems that the poison from Orochimaru's blade is taking all of the Kyuubi's energy to heal, and because of that, it can't heal Naruto's other injuries. Tsunade nodded. "Alright, I'm going to start removing as much of the poison as I can while you heal the sword wound," Tsunade said. "Once I've removed as much of the poison as I can, I assume that the fox will start healing the Gaki itself." "Hi Tsunade-sama," Shizune answered before turning to her task. Both women's hands glowed green as they healed the blonde Jinchuriki. Color slowly returned to Naruto as the bleeding slowed. "Tsunade-sama, I can handle things from here, go help Jiraiya-sama." Tsunade nodded and took one final look down at Naruto. She reached up and unfastened her necklace and placed it around Naruto's neck. "Please, let this time." Tsunade trailed off as she turned to the Sannin battle occurring between the perverted fool and the creepy and twisted genius of her team. "It's time to end this," Jiraiya roared. His hands flew through 5 hand signs before slamming his palm to the ground. Summoning Jutsu. There was a massive explosion of smoke, and in its midst an enormous reddish-brown toad wearing a blue jacket appeared, Jiraiya standing atop its head. "Bunta, it's time we finish what Sensei couldn't." Gamabunta glared down at Orochimaru, hatred burning in the toad's eyes. "Right," the toad boss growled. He lifted a massive forearm and slammed it down at the snake Sannin. However, Orochimaru proved himself worthy of the snake Sannin title as he slithered out of harm's way. "Stay still, you worm," Bunta snarled, again raising a forearm to crush the ninja. "Orochimaru-sama," a weak and pained voice cried out. Looking over, Jiraiya was stunned to see that Kabuto was once again standing, while cradling his stomach in obvious pain. Orochimaru leapt over to his henchman. Kabuto gathered some of his blood from his mouth and swiped it across a tattoo on Orochimaru's forearm before shouting, summoning Jutsu. An enormous purple snake appeared across from Bunta, and when it saw the massive toad, it hissed angrily. "Orochimaru, why have you summoned me?" "You know that I hate being summoned," the massive snake snarled. "Shizune, stay here with Naruto and watch over him," Tsunade ordered. "Of course, m'lady, where will you go?" Shizune asked. "I think it's time that the Sannin were reduced to just 2, Tsunade snarled, cracking her knuckles. She bit her thumb, swiped it across her palm and slammed it to the ground. Summoning Jutsu. A slug equal in size to the toad and snake before it appeared. "Hello there, Katsuyu," Bunta grunted as he drew his blade, not taking his eyes from the massive snake that Orochimaru and Kabuto were standing upon. "It seems that we're all together once again, however this will be the last time," Bunta growled, pointing his sword at the giant snake. "Orochimaru, you are no longer fit to be called a Sannin," Jiraiya shouted. "After today, there will be only 2 Sannin left in this world. As the Godame Hokage, you are both sentenced to death for the murder of the Sandiame as well as facilitating the attack of Konoha, Tsunade announced. Jiraiya looked over at his teammate with a grin. So, we finally wore you down, he quipped. Tsunade snorted. As if, but that boy has shown me that I have been a coward and that my family would be ashamed of how I have been acting these past years, she said heavily. But now, I will bet my life in defense of the leaf and on the next generation of ninja. Shizune watched in awe as her master, Jiraiya and their summons battled and battered Orochimaru to the brink of death, but somehow the snake Sannin had merged himself to another body and was able to slither away with his subordinate. Jiraiya and Tsunade dispelled their summons before approaching Shizune with a still unconscious Naruto. A slash in the fight between the Sannin is the same as the anime. I thought it was a really good fight and why mess with success? What? Naruto cried. She actually agreed to become Hokage. Tsunade gave Naruto a smug grin across the bar table. That's right, Squirt, once we get back to the village, you'll have to start calling me Hokage-sama, she said. Like that will ever happen, I'll obey your orders as Hokage, but you are nothing like the old man, Naruto said. I mean, he wasn't a gambling addict who hid her true age and has a quick temper. I mean, Sennin, do you really think she's up for the job? Tsunade's grin slid off her face in an instant. What did you say, your brat? She growled, a vein popping up on her forehead. Come now, Tsunade-sama, let's just order and eat so we can head back to the village, Shizune pleaded. Let's take this outside, you brat, Tsunade snapped. I'll show you to disrespect me. Fine then, you old hag, Naruto shot back. Shizune and Jiraiya sighed and followed the two blondes out of the restaurant and into the street. They stood roughly 10 meters apart, glaring at each other, though both seemed relaxed and alert. Come on, kid, this is pointless, Tsunade scoffed. I'm the Hokage of Konoha, this is beneath me, fighting a snot-nosed genin. I'll only need one finger to finish this. Naruto narrowed his eyes before pulling a kunai out of his holster and charging towards Tsunade. Tsunade ducked under the strike and flicked her finger, knocking Naruto back 10 feet as well as sending his forehead protector flying into the air. Before Naruto could recover, Tsunade was on him, her finger cocked for another flick. But instead of a superpowered finger flick, Naruto felt something warm press against his forehead. Opening his eyes, he saw that Tsunade had given him a brief kiss to his exposed forehead. He blushed, it was only the second time someone had ever kissed him. His blush increased significantly when Tsunade said, "Grow up and become a good man and a brilliant Hokage." Hi, Naruto stammered, trying to comprehend the fact that Tsunade had acknowledged his dream and strength. Chapter 15 Whitewash. The return of Tsunade was met with much fanfare in the village. The elders were waiting as the group approached the village, along with much of the village ninja and some of the higher-up civilians. Naruto noticed that some of the civilians were looking angry at Tsunade's arrival. He also caught a narrowing of the bandaged elder's single visible eye, as if the man was disappointed that they had found Tsunade. The first couple of weeks that followed Tsunade's return to the village and taking up of the Hokage mantle was filled with cleanup of the village after the invasion, as well Tsunade healing Sasuke and Kakashi, who had been attacked by Itachi and Kisame before they found Naruto in Tanzaku. Sakura had been pestering Tsunade to teach her after seeing the legendary medical ninja in action by healing Sasuke and Kakashi. Tsunade decided to give the pink-haired girl a shot by taking her under her wing, as Kakashi got back up to speed. However, Sasuke, after getting out of the hospital, hearing that both of his teammates were being taught by two of the legendary Sannin, was furious. Sasuke's rage reached new levels when Tsunade announced the promotions of Shikamaru and Naruto to Chunin. He, and much of the civilian council, was furious that the demon brat was promoted while Sasuke wasn't, and they made their thoughts known. However, Tsunade shot them down by reminding them that they were in a ninja village and the civilian council had no power over ninja business. She also reminded the council that Naruto won his match, as well as defeated Tsuna's Jinchuriki during the invasion. This stunned the ninja council, as many had heard the rumors that had been flying around the village that it was Sasuke who beat Gaara during the invasion. The next several months following the invasion and Tsunade's return was a trying time for Team 7 as Naruto was pulled away from the team due to his promotion and he was sent on patrol missions as well as a courier for the Hokage. But when Naruto was with Team 7, Kakashi had the blonde as second in command of the team, meaning that Naruto would be in charge of the team if Kakashi were to be separated from the younger ninja. This didn't sit very well with Sasuke, and the Uchiha showed this by following Naruto's orders with the highest contempt. One day 3 months after Tsunade's return, Team 7 was called to the Hokage's office for a mission. When the quartet arrived, they were surprised to see that Teams 8 and 10, as well as Team Guy were there as well. "Ba-chan, what's going on?" Naruto asked as he entered the office, much to the shock of the gathered shinobi. Tsunade growled at the younger blonde but didn't respond. She turned to the assembled jounin. "I've brought all of you here because you have a joint mission," Tsunade announced. An older man with dark hair and glasses stepped forward from beside Tsunade's desk. "This is Sandeu, he is the manager for Yuki Fujikaze, the actress who portrays Princess Gale. He has asked our help in guarding the actress and the film crew while they film in Yukigakure." Sandeu bowed to the assembled ninja. "Thank you very much. We have been receiving several threats toward the actress, more than what would be normal stalkers or obsessed fans." "Sandeu, if you would excuse us," Tsunade said. "I need to go over some details for the mission." The older man nodded and left the office. "Hokage-sama, surely only one team would be needed for a basic bodyguard mission, maybe 2 with the high status of the client," Kakashi said. "But not 4 teams. Normally, you'd be right, Kakashi, but there's something that Sandeu isn't telling us," Tsunade said. "Thanks to Jiraiya's network, we've learned that the daimyo of Yukigakure is selling arms and armor to Orochimaru." A cold breeze filtered through the office. "We can't let this continue. Also, we have reason to believe that Sandeu is the head of the resistance in Yukigakure and that Yuki Fujikaze isn't who she seems. She's Princess Koyuki Kazuhana, the daughter of the former daimyo and the rightful heir to the throne." Kakashi froze. "Is this true?" he whispered. "Kakashi-sensei, what's wrong?" Sakura asked. But Kakashi just shook his head. "We think that Sandeu is trying to have Koyuki brought back to Yukigakure to help overthrow her uncle, Dodo," Swanda said. "That's why I'm sending all of you. There's a good chance that Dodo's forces will attack. So your mission is twofold: first, protect Yuki and the film crew while they finish filming. And second, is to stop Dodo from dealing with Orochimaru by any means necessary." The jounin's eyes widened at this order. "Hokage-sama, are you sure about this?" "This mission seems more suited to a team of jounin or even Umbu," Asuma asked. "You may be right, but Sandeu is giving us this chance and you can be sure that Orochimaru will have spies in Yukigakure. And if they report that a team of jounin or Umbu being sighted, they'll tell Doto and the element of surprise will be lost. Now, you are all dismissed. Meet Sandeu at the East Gate in 1 hour." "Hi Hokage-sama," the Konoha ninja said before leaving the office. "Yuki's run off again," the director's assistant cried as the Konoha teams arrived at the East Gate. "When she learned that we were leaving for the Land of Snow to finish shooting, she took off." Kakashi turned to the others. "All right, she can't have gotten far. Spilled up and find her and bring her back," he ordered. "Don't bother, I know where she is," Naruto spoke up. "What do you mean, dobe?" Kiba barked. Naruto ignored the insult. He turned to the jounin. "I planted a chakra tag on her earlier," Naruto said. "It's similar to the Yondame's special seals. If I focus my chakra, I can find the tag easily enough. I thought that after our last major mission, that with this tag, we could find our client if we got separated." "That's brilliant, Naruto-kun," Guy cried. "Your flames of youth are overflowing." "Nice job, Naruto," Kakashi grinned behind his mask, smirking at the stunned looks on Kurenai and Asuma's faces. "Lead the way." Naruto nodded and leapt off toward the center of the village with Kakashi following behind. Naruto led his sensei to a bar in the entertainment sector of the village. "She's inside," Naruto said. Kakashi nodded and walked inside. The silver-haired Jounin walked out of the bar 5 minutes later with Yuki over his shoulder. She's just under a genjutsu that put her to sleep, Kakashi answered to Naruto's unasked question. She should wake up in a couple of hours, we should be well on our way by then. The pair caught up with the other Konoha ninja and the film crew just as they were getting ready to leave the village. Kakashi placed Yuki in her carriage, still asleep, and then rejoined his fellow Jounin in time to hear Kiba and Ino berating Naruto for something. Come on, you can't believe that Naruto, the class dobe, could come up with something like that? Kiba scoffed. Yeah, it's Naruto for Kami's sake. Ino cried. Silence Genin. Kurenai and Asuma growled. Naruto is a chunin, which means he's your superior. And that means he can have you suspended from the ninja force if you keep this up, Asuma snapped. Maybe if you two had worked half as hard as Naruto had, you wouldn't have lost in the preliminary matches, Kurenai said sharply. Both Kiba and Ino looked stunned that their Jounin senseis were siding with Naruto over them. Looking around, they saw that everyone else, except for Naruto, who was ignoring the spat, and Sasuke, who didn't care, was looking at the pair with disgust and anger. Such unyouthfulness, Guy muttered as he watched the pair of genin cringe under the looks of their senseis. What is going on here? An enraged Yuki roared as she stormed out onto the deck of the ship. Ah, I see you're awake, Kakashi chuckled. Yuki, I see that you are awake, Sendai said. Can I get you anything? Yeah, you can get me off this ship. Yuki cried. I told you that I didn't want to go to the land of snow, but no, you kidnapped me. I apologize for the unorthodox travel arrangements, Kakashi said. But you didn't leave us much choice. And besides, you are under contract to finish this film, the director barked, glaring at his star actress. Fine, but once we're done filming, I'm gone, Yuki growled. She then stormed back into her cabin, slamming the door behind her. Well, she's a piece of work, Naruto muttered. He turned to Sandeu. Why do you work for her if she treats you like this? I've known Yuki for a very long time, she wasn't always like this, Sandeu said. When she was a child, she was very sweet and happy, talking about how she wanted to be a princess and an actress. Iceberg ahead, a crew member cried out from the crow's nest. Naruto and the Konoha nin turned to see a massive iceberg bearing down on them. The captain turned to the director. What would you like to do? We can go around it, though it will take some time, the captain said. No, this iceberg is the perfect backdrop to shoot some scenes, the director cried. If it's safe enough, we will shoot several scenes. The captain nodded and called out orders to his crew. In quick time, the ship had been anchored next to the iceberg and the film crew had set up their equipment on the shore. Naruto sat with his teammates watching Yuki being made up and get into position for her scene. As the ninja watched the filming begin, Naruto was stunned at the change that came over the actress when the cameras were on. She's like a totally different person, Naruto commented watching the scene being played out in front of him. Sakura nodded next to him. Yes, Yuki has this amazing ability to act, to portray any emotion that she wants easily, Sendai said. It's only on camera does she truly let her true self shine through. Boom! Naruto's head snapped around in time to see an explosion rock the iceberg and cause an avalanche come speeding toward the film crew. Kakashi and the other Jonin leapt into action immediately. Get back to the ship all of you now, Kakashi barked. Naruto looked up at the top of the iceberg and spied several ninja, all wearing the symbol of Yukigekure. We'll handle these guys while Naruto, you and the others get the crew and Yuki back to the ship. Hi sensei, Naruto snapped. He turned to his classmates. You heard Kakashi sensei, round everyone up, I'll cover you. Tajukage Bunshin. Naruto barked. 24 appeared around Naruto. Sakura, Shikamaru, Shino, Choji and Hinata leapt into action, while Ino and Kiba looked stunned at Naruto taking command. Sasuke just grunted and readied himself for battle. Kiba, Ino, Sasuke, get your asses in gear or so help me. Naruto growled as his clones fended off several Yuki ninja that had come close to members of the film crew. Kiba and Ino shook themselves out of their stupor and raced off to join the others gathering the crew. Sasuke just growled and leapt off to engage the enemy. That idiot, Naruto snarled as he deflected two kunai with one of his own. I need to end this quickly and help the others, my clones are being decimated, Naruto thought. Kai, he barked. The gravity seal on his chest released itself, Naruto sighed, as he felt free and so much lighter. Let's go. He blurred out of sight before reappearing in front of a Yuki-nin who was about to strike down Hinata. The ninja gargled as Naruto slashed him across the throat with his hidden blade. Naruto-kun. Hinata gasped as her opponent collapsed. Hinata, go help Sakura and the others guard the boat, Naruto ordered. Your Byakugan is perfect for making sure we don't get ambushed, and your gentle fist is great for close combat protection. Now go. Hi! Hinata yelped as she leapt off toward the boat. You aren't getting away that easily, a Yuki ninja shouted as he chased after Hinata. Neither are you, Naruto growled as he appeared behind the ninja and slashed him across the back. A cry of pain alerted Naruto to another fight. He turned to see Choji leap backward away from his opponent, clutching his arm, which was bleeding badly. Choji! Naruto cried. He sped off toward the Akimichi air. Rasengan! Naruto roared, slamming the swirling ball of chakra into the enemy ninja's back. The ninja cried out in pain and shock as he was propelled away from Choji. Thanks Naruto, Choji gasped as he tried to stem the bleeding. No problem Choji, get back to the ship and have Sakura fix you up, Naruto ordered. Choji nodded and leapt off toward the ship. Naruto, get back to the ship, Kakashi shouted as he ducked under a spinning kick from his opponent. Kakashi slashed at the armor-wearing ninja but the man just leapt back and began making hand signs. Hayaton Hariyamoko! A large tiger made of ice charged toward the Konoha ninja, its eyes glowing yellow. Kakashi quickly created his signature jutsu and dispatched the ice tiger. By this time, the genin had gotten all of the crew back to the ship. Kakashi and his fellow jonin joined them. Asuma, give us some wind, Kakashi ordered. Asuma nodded and quickly used a wind jutsu to create a gust strong enough to guide the ship away from the iceberg. The enemy watched from the receding iceberg as the ship vanished into the distance. On the ship, Naruto was trying to burn off the adrenaline from the battle. Around him, his classmates were doing the same. Sakura had pulled Choji and Kiba aside to patch them up and berate them for getting injured in the first place. Shikamaru had settled down at the prow of the ship and was watching the clouds slide by. Ino was alternating between glaring at Sakura and fawning over Sasuke, who was just brooding against the mast. Hinata was helping Sakura while Teen Guy was talking amongst themselves. Shut up Sasuke! Sakura snapped as she heard the Uchiha scoff once more as she changed the bandages on Choji's arm. Whatever, those two weaklings got hurt, Sasuke sneered. I can't believe they even think that they can stand up to me, an Uchiha. I took on twice as many of those snow ninja and didn't get a scratch. And you also ignored orders from your superior, Kakashi snapped. Naruto told you to help get the film crew back to the ship, you deliberately disobeyed those orders and ran off half-cocked. The dope doesn't order me around, I'm an Uchiha, an elite, Sasuke growled. He's just a clanless orphan that no one cares about. A stunned silence fell over the ship at this. Many heads turned to Naruto who was sitting on the railing looking out over the ocean. They saw him stiffen and gripped the railing tightly at Sasuke's comment but he didn't turn around. The Jonin stared at Sasuke with looks of utter contempt while the genin looked at the Uchiha in shocked amazement. Uchiha, Kakashi barked. Do you remember the conversation that we had during the Land of Waves? He asked. The Uchiha just gave him a aloof glare. Naruto has had a much harder life than any one of us, even you Sasuke. All you've done is whine about your brother or grumble about how you'll kill him. Well, for your information, Itachi was in a class of his own. Only the Hokage could have a chance against him when he left the village, and I'm sure that he's gotten even stronger since he left. Sasuke snarled as his Sharingan flashed wildly. I will kill Itachi, he roared. Nothing will stop me from achieving my goal. The rest of the trip passed under a heavy veil of tension. Everyone treated Sasuke like a time bomb, as if one word would set the boy off. The ship made port in the land of snow 2 days after the ambush, and the crew quickly unpacked their equipment onto trucks and wagons. The film crew caravan slowly made their way from the port and deeper into the mountains that cradled the bay. They reached the cave pass that would take them through the mountains. "Where's Yuki?" the assistant director shouted out. The Konoha ninja quickly leapt into action, with the teams darting off into the forest around them. "Naruto, can you track her?" Kakashi asked as Team 7 leapt through the forest. The blonde boy had closed his eyes and concentrated. "Got her, about 300 yards at our 2 o'clock, Naruto said. Kakashi nodded and the team sped off. "There you are, Yuki," Kakashi said as Team 7 surrounded the running actress/princess. "You know you shouldn't be making running away a habit." Yuki glared up at Kakashi. "Go away, I swore that I would never return to this place," she shouted. "Get over yourself," Naruto barked. "All you have to do is shoot a movie and then you can run from your problems all you want, though you'll never outrun yourself. Can you live with the fact that yourself if you keep running?" Yuki flushed and looked down but shook her head. "No. I refuse to go back there," she screamed. "I will never go back." Suddenly an explosion alerted Team 7 to the ridge that the caravan had been stationed on. "Kyuso!" Kakashi cursed. "Naruto, grab Yuki, we need to get back to the others." Naruto quickly created 2 clones and stunned Yuki before throwing her over its shoulder. Team 7 leapt off back toward the others. What they found was quickly becoming a massive battle. Bodies were strewn around the trucks and wagons. Snow Ninja and film crew members. Team Guy was fending off a group of Snow Ninja, while the uninjured members of Teams 8 and 10 were guarding the film crew in Kiba and Choji, who were both still recovering from the earlier attack. "Tajukage Bunshin!" Naruto roared. 100 clones appeared on the battlefield and swept into the fray, forcing the Snow Ninja from the beleaguered Teams 8 and 10. "Shikamaru, Shino, get your teams together and round up the crew, get them back to the trucks." "I'll cover you," Naruto ordered. Shikamaru and Shino nodded and rounded up the others as the Snow Ninja fell back under the onslaught of the Naruto clones. "Sasuke, stay with the others. They'll need you to cover them in case anyone gets by my clones." Sasuke growled but nodded curtly and leapt off toward his fellow genin. Naruto turned back to the battle in time to see each of the Konoha Jonin being engaged by 5 Snow Ninja. Judging from the strain that Kakashi and the others were facing, Naruto realized that the reinforcements were strong, probably Jonin level. A shout of pain caught Naruto's attention. A massive man was towering over Kurenai, who was clutching an arm that was bleeding. Naruto flashed across the plain just in time to intercept a fatal kunai strike from the massive Snow Ninja. While he was able to deflect the strike, Naruto wasn't strong enough to block all of it. With a cry, Naruto was thrown to the ground, his arm numb from the blow. "Naruto, what are you doing?" Kurenai gasped as she tried to stem the bleeding. "Doing my job," Naruto said, gritting his teeth and trying to shake some feeling back into his limb. "You're out of your league, little boy," the massive Snow Ninja chuckled. "You can't think that you can beat us. We're ninja of the snow, and with our chakra armor, we're invincible. Ninjutsu and Jinjutsu are worthless against us." "I see," Naruto said as something clicked into place. "But a ninja isn't limited to only those 2 foci, are they?" The massive ninja narrowed his eyes. "What are you talking about, boy?" he growled. "Even if a ninja can't use ninjutsu and Jinjutsu, there's always taijutsu," Naruto said before blurring out of sight. The massive ninja felt something sting him in the back of his neck before his world went dark. "Naruto," Kurenai gasped as she got to her feet. "Thank you." "No problem, Kurenai-sensei, maybe you should brush up on your taijutsu," Naruto suggested. "You don't want to be limited to just one strength, and besides, Arasenin always said that there's always someone stronger out there. Kurenai had to bit her tongue from reprimanding the Green Chunin. "He's right though, I'm worthless against this type of opponent, my Jinjutsu can't affect everyone," she thought. "When we get back to Konoha, I'll speak with Anko about teaching me some taijutsu. Juro, one of the snow ninja, shouted as the massive man fell to the ground. Fubuki, retreat, the leader barked as he disengaged from Kakashi. The pink-haired woman nodded and leapt away from Asuma. Now who's running Nadar? Kakashi shouted as the snow ninja disappeared into the hills. Kakashi turned to the others. Well done, Naruto, good job at getting the crew clear and for assisting Kurenai. We need to move quickly, they'll be back and in greater number. To right you are Kakashi, a snide voice called out. The four-leaf Jonin and Naruto spun around to see a large airship appear over the edge of the cliff. The leader of the snow ninja was standing on the balcony of the airship, a large man with a massive metal hand next to him. Suddenly the metal hand shot forward, barreling straight for the assembled genin, film crew and Yuki. The actress cried out in panic as the metal hand grabbed her and scattered the people around her as the line went taut before she was ripped from her feet and pulled toward the airship. No! Kakashi and the other Jonin cried out as Yuki was pulled into the airship. A black blur shot past the Jonin as Sasuke raced toward the edge of the cliff. Sasuke! Don't! Kakashi shouted as the Uchiha threw a line at the fleeing airship. It wrapped around the balcony's railings and Sasuke shot off into the air, trailing behind the airship like a bug. Damn that boy! Kakashi growled. Don't worry, Kakashi-sensei, I'll make sure he doesn't make a fool of himself too much, Naruto said. What are you talking about, Naruto Baka? Ino shouted. Sasuke-kun is going to rescue Yuki, he's no fool. Then why did he run off like an idiot and try to play hero, Sakura barked. Naruto's right. Sasuke should have waited. Shut up, forehead, you're just trying to confuse me, Ino cried. You want Sasuke-kun for yourself. Sakura rubbed her forehead. Get it through your thick head, I don't like Sasuke like that anymore, hell, I don't think I like him at all. But he's my teammate, she turned to Kakashi and the other senior ninja. What are we going to do now? Where would they be taking Yuki? Probably to the palace, Kakashi answered. Dodo wants something from Yuki, otherwise he'd have just killed her and be done with it. Asuma, Kurenai and Guy nodded in agreement. Naruto, you said that you could make sure that Sasuke didn't make a fool of himself. What did you mean? I'm with him, Naruto answered. This is just a clone. Boss moved immediately when he saw that Yuki was caught. He'll make sure that team doesn't get killed because the village can't lose its precious last Uchiha, the clone grumbled. Kakashi had to hide grin behind his mask. Good work, Naruto. Tell your creator that I want him to send us a clone to rendezvous with the rest of us when that airship lands, Kakashi ordered. And while you're at it, why don't you make it so that our opponents don't get too comfortable? A feral grin on the clone's face sent shivers up each of the Konoha ninjas' spines. Roger that, the clone said before dispersing with a puff of smoke. Kakashi, did you just give Naruto permission to prank the daimyo of Yukigakure and his men? Asuma asked. Of course not, Kakashi waved off Asuma's question. I just gave Naruto an order to distract them while we sneak up, how he interprets that order is totally up to him. Right, Asuma sighed, rolling his eyes. Naruto grinned as the memories of his clone filtered through his mind. I can't believe Kakashi just gave me permission to prank someone on a mission, he thought. And I've got just the thing. Hearing footsteps, Naruto quickly vanished into the shadows, pulling a gray hood over his bright blonde hair. He watched as Sasuke was dragged, wrapped head to toe in ropes, down the hallway. The blonde Chunin had to stifle a chuckle at the sight of the prized Uchiha trussed up like a common street rat. Following the procession from the shadows, Naruto made his way forward toward the bridge and slipped inside just before the doors closed. Welcome aboard, my dear Yuki, or should I call you by your real name, Koyuki, a large black-haired man said with a slight regal lilt to his voice. Koyuki flinched. What do you want, uncle? Koyuki snapped. Well, that hex crystal that you've been carrying around would do nicely, Dodo said simply. He reached out his hand. Now if you would please? Koyuki narrowed her eyes but reached up and took off the necklace and handed it to Dodo. The man grinned widely as he inspected the crystal. His grin quickly faded and twisted into a scowl as Dodo suddenly gripped the crystal in his hand and crushed it. Koyuki was stunned and didn't move when Dodo grabbed her by the front of her robes, hoisting her into the air. "Do you think I'm a fool?" Dodo roared. "Where is the hex crystal?" "I don't know," Koyuki gasped. "I haven't taken that often, Kakashi. He must have switched the crystals when I was asleep." "Kakashi would be clever enough to switch the crystals," Nadar commented. "My lord, what should we do with this one?" he asked, tossing Sasuke at Dodo's feet. "Let me go, you commoners!" Sasuke roared. "I am an Uchiha, an elite, how dare you treat me like this?" Naruto facepalmed at Sasuke's explosion. Idiot, if he had kept his mouth shut, he thought. "Well, an Uchiha, this is a surprise," Dodo chuckled. "This is an unexpected boon for us. Maybe we can create our own Uchiha clan here in the Land of Snow. What do you say, Fubuki? Are you willing to become the mother of the new Uchiha clan?" The pink-haired woman walked over to the bound Sasuke and looked down at him. "He's cute enough though, are we sure the brat's old enough to get his junk to actually work?" Fubuki questioned. Naruto stuffed his fist into his mouth to stop his laughter from billowing out. Sasuke roared in anger but was cut off by a blow to the back of his neck. "Take them both below," Dodo ordered. "Kakashi will be coming after Koyuki and the Uchiha. Konoha is legendary for their lust for bloodlines. When we reach the castle, take them to the lowest dungeons and lock them up. If Kakashi has the hex crystal with him, we will take it from him." "Hi, my lord," Nadar said. He signaled a group of ninja to take Sasuke and Koyuki down below. Naruto followed the group off the bridge and found a shadowy place in the cargo bay to hide until they arrived at the palace and settled in for a nap. An hour or so later, Naruto was woken by the screeching of metal. Jerking awake, he peeked out from his hiding place and spotted that Dodo and his minions, along with chained Koyuki and Sasuke, were walking down a large ramp that extended from the ship. Silently, Naruto followed them to the palace gate. He paused for a moment, creating a shadow clone and having it henge into a bird, and sent the clone on its way to find Kakashi and the others while the original slipped into the palace, just before the doors slammed shut. Naruto quickly found another hiding spot and summoned a dozen clones and ordered them to spread out and scout out the castle, looking for entry points for the others as well as setting up any pranks that they could think of. The clones gave their creator a feral grin before vanishing into the shadows. "Man, am I glad that I'm not Dodo or those other Tems," Naruto thought as he quietly made his way deeper into the fortress. "I wonder if I'm going too far with these ideas. Nah, this bastard deserves it for what he's done." "Kakashi-sensei," a familiar voice called out. The Konoha ninja froze as Naruto appeared in front of them in a puff of smoke. "So, are you the clone Naruto sent for us?" Kakashi asked. The clone nodded. "Right then, report." "Hi," the clone barked. "Dodo was after some crystal that Koyuki had around her neck, that you apparently switched with a fake, and Dodo knows. He has ordered both Koyuki and Sasuke down to the dungeons below the fortress. The boss made some other clones to unsettle the people inside and scout out the area, but I don't know anything more than that. Oh, and Sasuke's going to get laid apparently by that pink-haired flying woman." Dodo said something about becoming the new head of the Uchiha clan, though the woman was wondering if Sasuke's team even had the right makeup for his equipment to work. Several chuckles broke out in the Konoha ranks, while Ino, Hinata, Tenten and Sakura went red. Ino in anger, Hinata, Tenten and Sakura thanks to Naruto's crude language. Kiba was struggling to stay upright while Shino and Niji were fighting their twitching lips. "We have to save Sasuke-kun," Ino cried out. "I won't let that bitch hurt my Sasuke-kun." The Naruto clone blinked and then shrugged. "Boss will probably send another clone to find you guys once he's done scouting, later," the clone said before vanishing in a puff of smoke. "What are we waiting for?" Ino screeched. "We have to hurry and save Sasuke-kun before that bitch takes advantage of him." "Ino, be silent," Asuma barked. "Charging in without a plan will get us all killed, including Sasuke and our client, Koyuki. She is our top priority, not Sasuke." Ino looked ready to explode, but a look from the other Jonin gave her pause. The palace isn't much farther, about 10 miles. Let's get closer and find a good vantage point to wait for Naruto's signal, Kakashi ordered. The Konoha ninja fell into line and took to the trees. Naruto sorted through the memories of his dispersed clones, all the while drawing out a crude map of the complex, pointing out the various entry points that his clones had discovered as well as marking the factories below the complex where the weapons were being manufactured and stored. When he was finished, Naruto made a copy of the map and made several hand signs. Summoning Jutsu. In a puff of smoke, a small orange toad appeared in front of Naruto. Hey there Naruto, the toad quipped, then it realized how cold it was and shivered. What's the big idea summoning me in a freezer like this? Sorry Gamakichi, but can you take this map to Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked. He and the others should be just outside the complex. I would make a clone do it, but I need someone I can trust and who would be overlooked. The small toad puffed out his chest at Naruto's praise. Sure thing, Gamakichi said. Though do you have anything that I could wear? It's really cold out and toads and cold don't go so well. I think so, let me check, Naruto said. He pulled out his emergency blanket and cut it up into a crude but effective jacket for the toad. That's perfect, thanks Naruto, Gamakichi said. I'll see you around. Before Naruto could say goodbye, the toad vanished in a blur. Time to get to work, Naruto muttered to himself as he studied the map one more time. He created 24 clones. All right, you know what to do. Go in pairs, and create as much havoc as possible but wait for my signal. The others will be using that distraction to enter the complex. Focus on the assembly lines first then the storerooms. Make sure that none of these weapons and armor escape. Hi, the clones answered. Naruto nodded and sent them on their way. So it begins, the blonde ninja whispered before vanishing into the shadows as he headed down to his primary objective. Hey there team, look at the shit heap that I've got to pull your sorry ass from. Once again, an irritatingly familiar voice quipped from outside Sasuke's cell. The Uchiha looked up to see Naruto frowning at him, his blue eyes steely. Dobe, what the hell? When did you get here? Sasuke growled. Oh, I've been here since you got caught, Naruto said flippantly. For shame, the great and might Sasuke Uchiha getting captured like a green genin. Shut up Dobe, Sasuke roared. If you've been here since I tried to rescue Yuki, why haven't you come and freed us? Naruto rolled his eyes. Really team, do you honestly think I'm naive enough to believe that you disobeyed orders to save Yuki? He asked. Please Sasuke, you only care about one person, yourself. You were trying to play hero and got caught. And as if I've only just showed up, well let's just say that Dodo and his minions are having some trouble with the upkeep of their humble abode. And I was getting everything ready for Kakashi-sensei and the others. Suddenly a large explosion rocked the castle. That's our signal, let's get you two out of here. Naruto drew a kunai and sliced through the cell doors and then freed Sasuke. The Uchiha grumbled as he rubbed feeling back into his limbs. Another Naruto was doing the same thing across the way and freeing Koyuki. Come on you two, let's go, Naruto ordered. Sasuke and Koyuki begrudgingly trailing behind him. The trio found an elevator and piled in. They had just gotten to the highest level of the prison when another explosion rocked the castle. The doors pinged open and Naruto shoved Sasuke and Koyuki out and leapt clear just as the elevator gave way. Guess we're walking from now on, Naruto commented. Let's go, Kakashi and the others are waiting for us. This way, Koyuki said as she turned down a dimly lit corridor. Sasuke and Naruto followed her, Naruto narrowing his eyes at the actress back. Something's not right here, why now is she leading us, he thought. The trio suddenly emerged into the throne room of the palace. Naruto, Sasuke, Yuki, a sharp voice called out. It was Kakashi and the other Konoha ninja. Kakashi-sensei. Naruto said, his chest loosening slightly, though something was prickling the back of his mind. You guys made it? Yes and well done with the traps and explosions, Kakashi said. Your map certainly. You stole my necklace, Koyuki barked at Kakashi. I'd like to have it back now. Ah yes, well I wanted to make sure it was safe, Kakashi admitted. I'm sorry for deceiving you. He handed her the necklace back, but Koyuki didn't put it back on. Instead she just looked down at it. Suddenly the room was flooded with lights, nearly blinding the ninja. Well done Koyuki, a deep voice boomed out around the room. A spotlight centered on the high throne as Dodo appeared, flanking him were the 4 snow jonin from before. Before anyone could stop her, Koyuki raced over to Dodo and gave him the crystal. I told you, I'm an actress, Koyuki sneered down at the stunned Konoha ninja. I can portray any emotion I wish. Suddenly, she pulled out a large knife and stabbed Dodo in the side. Including betrayal. You fool! Dodo roared as he sent Koyuki flying with a single blow. He wrenched the blade from his side without flinching. The Konoha ninja were stunned to see a set of black armor being revealed as Dodo's robes fell apart around him. Did you really think that that little blade would be able to pierce our newest design? He surged forward and grabbed Koyuki around the waist, wings burst from his back and he shot off into the air. The snow ninja following suit as the castle continued to crumble around them. Kyuso! Naruto cursed. Follow me, he barked, charging up a Rasengan before slamming it into the wall. Teams 8, 10 and Guy were stunned to see Naruto wielding such a jutsu, as were their senseis. Kakashi, that's the... Asuma gasped. Yes it is, the silver-haired jonin answered briskly. Now come on, if we don't hurry we'll lose them. The other Konoha ninja leapt into action after the fleeing snow ninja. Naruto was out in front, only he, Sasuke, and the jonin were fast enough to keep Dodo and Koyuki in sight. Gritting his teeth, Kakashi made his decision. Naruto, you and Sasuke go on ahead and find a way to slow Dodo down and if possible rescue Koyuki. The rest of us will deal with these pests and the catch up. Hi sensei, Naruto barked before he and Sasuke sped off. Are you sure that was wise Kakashi? Guy asked. One of us should have gone after Dodo. You're probably right Guy but we're needed here to help our teams, Kakashi said. And Naruto can handle things until we arrive to back them up. He and Sasuke are the strongest kids here, and Naruto won't let anything happen to Koyuki or Sasuke if he can help it. I hope you're right my friend, Guy said as he ducked under a kunai from the snow ninja. Naruto and Sasuke burst out of the forest and right into a massive clearing ringed with giant stone column-like things. A small shrine was at the center of the center and that's where Dodo landed with Koyuki. He threw her aside and put his hand on top of the shrine. Suddenly steam began billowing out of shrine and shrouding the area. Naruto wiped his brow as the air grew warmer and warmer around him. He froze when he heard Dodo roar in anger. A heat generator. That's the great treasure of the Kazuhana clan, Dodo roared. Where are the gold, jewels and treasure? This is unacceptable. Dodo, another voice roared out over the hissing sounds of escaping heat and machinery. You're going to pay for disrespecting me, an Uchiha. Naruto groaned as he saw Sasuke sprint from the tree line straight toward the man. I am going to kill you. Dodo watched disinterestedly as Sasuke raced toward him. When the boy got close enough, Dodo easily ducked under the blow and then sent Sasuke flying away with a single punch. Pathetic, Dodo sneered. So much for the Konoha's prize Uchiha clan. Don't mock me. Sasuke roared. Chidori. Sasuke cried as his hand became encased in lighting. Sasuke sped toward Dodo and leapt into air above Dodo. The jutsu screamed loudly as it struck at Dodo, however a purplish glow surrounded the man deflecting the attack. Please, my armor is leagues away from those you might have fought before, Dodo growled as he pummeled Sasuke into a rapidly melting snowbank. Your pitiful jutsu can't touch me. Then let me try, Naruto shouted as he appeared next to Dodo. Naruto threw a punch at the man's head but Dodo easily blocked it with an upraised arm. Please boy, Dodo sneered. This is pointless, you can't beat me like that. If a son of the prodigious Uchiha clan, what makes you think you can? because I'm better than Sasuke, Naruto growled as he launched himself at Dodo. Meanwhile, Sakura and Team Guy were battling against the pink-haired snow ninja, whom was using the forest to her advantage as her armor allowed her to fly above the group. Guy knew this was bad matchup for his team and Sakura, as all of them except for Tenten were close-range fighters while their opponent was a mid to long-range fight. Tenten-chan, are you ready with those projectiles? Guy called out. Hi Guy-sensei. Good, Sakura-chan, stay back with Tenten-chan, Lee, Niji and myself will lead our opponent towards you too, and Tenten will need your help in capturing her, Guy said. Hi Guy-sensei. Sakura answered and leapt over to her fellow kunoichi. Sakura watched in awe as Lee and Guy raced amongst the branches of the trees toward the flying enemy. They seemed to be moving so fast that they weren't even touching the branches. She had only seen Naruto move so fast, and it seemed that both Lee and Guy were faster. They skillfully herded the woman toward a clearing, and Tenten unfurled her massive scroll, sending hundreds of kunai, shuriken and other manner of weapons toward the woman. Their opponent dodged the attack, but she didn't realize that Guy had snuck up behind her. Primary Lotus! Guy cried out as he wrapped up the woman with bandages and grabbed her from behind. The pair began their descent back down to earth, spinning rapidly. Sakura could hear the air screaming from the spinning and pressure. Boom! The pair impacted the ground with a massive explosion. Sakura saw a blur shoot out of the smoke. It was Guy. When the smoke finally cleared, their enemy was unmoving in the middle of a large crater, her armor twisted and wrecked. What was that? Sakura asked. That was the primary lotus, Guy said shakily. It is a forbidden taijutsu technique that spins both user and opponent so rapidly that it is nearly impossible for the user to escape without damage. Oh, Sakura said. Do you need any medical treatment, Guy-sensei? She asked. But Guy waved her off. What gives? Kiba cried as he ducked under a heavy punch coming from the large snow shinobi opposing him and Team 10 and their senseis. Why can't we hit him? His armor is too strong for basic taijutsu attacks, and Shino's bugs, Hinata's gentle fist and Kurenai sensei's genjutsu are worthless against him because of that armor, Shikamaru said. Kiba, you and Choji are our only chance. I'm going to try and catch him in my shadow possession jutsu, but I don't know how long I can hold him. You and Choji will have to hit him almost immediately afterwards. Right, Kiba said. Let's get ready, Akamaru. The puppy barked. Choji just nodded to his teammate. What about me? Ino whined. Go over with Hinata, Shino and Kurenai sensei, Shikamaru said. You have no business in this fight. What? The blonde girl screamed. How can you say that? Easy, you're weak. Shikamaru barked. You spend all your time trying to look good for Sasuke, or berating Naruto, me and Choji instead of training. You don't have any jutsu that would help in this situation and you're pathetic in taijutsu, so you can't help there. Ino fumed at Shikamaru but leapt over to Shino, Hinata and Kurenai sensei who were pestering the snow ninja trying to draw his attention from Shikamaru and the others. You pipsqueaks don't have a chance against me, the man chuckled as he blocked Asuma's strike with a raised arm. Suddenly he froze in place. What the? He gasped. Shadow possession complete, now Choji, Kiba. Shikamaru shouted. Partial expansion jutsu. Choji cried as his arms ballooned to massive proportions. Fong over Fong. Kiba roared as he and Akamaru sped down from the air toward the man. Their attack slammed into the chakra barrier, which began smoking and sparking. The glowing jewel on the man's armor exploded just as the tag team attack ended. Kiba and Akamaru leapt clear as a large shadow covered the man. It was Choji's arms. Boom! The Akimichi Air's attack sent snow, wood and dirt flying in every direction. When his arms shrunk and returned to normal, the scene they uncovered was pretty gruesome. Their opponent was barely recognizable in a heap of twisted metal, limbs and bone. Ino swayed heavily but stayed on her feet, her face decidedly green. Naruto cried out in pain as he felt his right leg snap as he crashed into one of the giant ice pillars surrounding the clearing. He slumped to the ground, grabbing at his broken limb. Now you see the disparity, the futility of your efforts, Dodo sneered. You can't hope to defeat me. I am the strongest ninja that the land of snow has ever produced. I am going to kill you, boy. You'll try, Naruto gasped as he struggled to his feet. I don't care what happens, you won't kill me, I will stop you. Come on, you Baka fox, I need some help here. Naruto concentrated on contacting the fox sealed within his tenant. Just enough to kill this team and save Koyuki. Naruto's eyes widened as he felt the rush of the Kyuubi's chakra flood his system, his strength renewed, the pain of his broken leg vanishing. Naruto watched as Dodo stopped and stared at him. What are you? He asked, seeing the red chakra surrounding Naruto. I'm your worst nightmare, Naruto growled, his voice deepening and growing heavy with malice. You won't beat me. In a blur of motion, Naruto appeared in front of Dodo, fist glowing red. Wham! Dodo was sent flying as Naruto planted his fist into the man's face. You'll pay for that, boy, Dodo growled, spitting blood from his mouth. Naruto glared at the man. Better men than you have tried, he growled. Tajukage Bunshin. Naruto roared. Over 100 clones appeared around Naruto. Get him, Naruto cried. His clones roared and charged. Dodo watched in stunned amazement at the wave of Naruto's charging at him. Twin Dragon Blizzard. Dodo roared. Two massive dragons of black smoke and glowing red eyes appeared in Dodo's hands. They burst forth from his palms and slammed into the charging horde of clones. Dozens of clones vanished into smoke as the jutsu tore through them like wet paper. All too easy, Dodo commented as the last clone vanished. It's over. Not yet, it's not, Naruto growled. Whirling around, Dodo saw Naruto standing behind him with a swirling ball of chakra in his hand. Rasengan! Naruto roared, slamming the jutsu into Dodo's chest. Dodo cried out as his armor struggled to contain the attack and disperse the damage. More, Naruto muttered as he poured more and more chakra into the attack, much like he had against Gaara. A massive explosion rocked the clearing just as the other Konoha ninja arrived on scene. They saw Naruto slam his attack into Dodo, then him fly backward from the explosion. When the smoke cleared, Dodo was still standing, though his armor was in ruins while Naruto was lying up against a boulder, his head hanging limply. Naruto! Sakura and Hinata cried out. Like I said, boy, Dodo sneered as he picked Naruto up by the collar. It's over, you lose. To the horror of the Konoha ninja, Dodo slammed the unresponsive Naruto into the ice pack, propelling him into the water. Naruto! Come on, Kurama, I need some help here, Naruto thought. This guy is more than I can handle, I need some more chakra. Alright, Naruto, I'll give you as much chakra as you can handle, but be warned you might not be able to handle this, Kurama responded. I can give you as much one tail's worth of chakra, but this is going to hurt. Got it, and thanks, Kurama, Naruto said. Naruto gasped as he felt Kurama's chakra flood his system once more. This time the sensation was much more intense. It felt as if his blood was on fire. The physical changes were immediate as Naruto's whisker marks darkened, his canines lengthened, his already spiky hair grew even wilder and his eyes became red and silted. We're not done yet, a deep and menacing voice came from behind Dodo. Naruto had burst from the lake and landed on the shore. The Konoha genin were stunned and a bit scared of Naruto's appearance. What is this? Dodo screamed as Naruto appeared before him in a flash of red. What are you? Like I said, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm Uzumaki Naruto, the future Hokage of Konohagakure no Sado. Naruto roared, a purplish Rasengan appeared in his hand, much larger than anyone previous. Take this. Ah! Dodo screamed as Naruto slammed the giant Rasengan into his chest. Dodo was engulfed in the attack and sent screaming away, where he crashed into one of the massive stone pillars. A resounding crack came from the stone structure as the crater around Dodo spread and pieces of the pillar began falling to the ground. Suddenly much of the ice surrounding the clearing disappeared and the air became even warmer. Slowly the remaining pieces of the stone pillar fell off, with the body of Doto preceding them, and it revealed a massive mirror, which reflected the sunlight and added to the warming of the clearing. Wow, several of the Konoha genin said as the snow and ice melted all around them. What happened? Naruto groaned as he opened his eyes to find himself in a warm bed underneath a bright white ceiling. "Ah, you're awake, Naruto," Kakashi said. "Well, to answer your question, after you beat Dodo, you passed out from chakra exhaustion. You've been out cold for nearly a day." Naruto's eyes widened. "What happened to Sasuke?" he asked. "He's fine, ego a bit bruised, but fine physically," Kakashi said. "I think you made quite an impression on your classmates, especially Ino and Kiba." "What do you mean?" "Well, we caught the last bit of your fight with Dodo, so they saw you get knocked down but get back up," Kakashi said. "I think you've shown them that you're not the dead last anymore." "So they saw me?" Naruto asked. Kakashi nodded. "Yes, they saw you use the Kyuubi's chakra, though they don't know what it was," the silver-haired Jonin said. "We've led them to believe it's a bloodline trait, similar to Kiba's." "I see," Naruto said. "That makes sense. How long do you think I have until the council finds out that I used the fox's chakra? You know Sasuke will try and make me give him the power to beat Dodo, and when I say no, he'll complain to the council." Kakashi frowned under his mask. Naruto was right. Sasuke was already demanding to see Naruto to try and force the blonde to give him power. The Uchiha had awoken at the end of Naruto's fight as well and had seen Naruto using the Kyuubi's chakra. "How long until I can get out of here?" Naruto asked, bringing Kakashi out of his thoughts. "You should be back to full strength by tonight, so we'll be leaving for the village tomorrow," Kakashi said. Naruto nodded. "Get some more rest, we'll come back to check on you later." "Okay, sensei," Naruto said before he drifted back off to sleep. The Konoha ninja left the land of snow the next day. Naruto's prediction came true, as Sasuke demanded that Naruto give him Naruto's power the first chance he got. The Uchiha was smacked down by Naruto, who told him, "It's not your burden and this power is a curse. I never wanted it, but I'll be damned if I don't make the most of it. And Sasuke, if you ever try that again, I will kill you." The Jonin made sure to keep Sasuke under close watch during the return trip, and Naruto was able to avoid the questioning coming from his classmates by sticking to the story that Kakashi had told him. When they returned to Konoha, the teams made their reports to the Hokage, who complimented them on a job well done and then gave them a week off to recover. Thank you for your views, likes, subscriptions, and overall support of my ongoing efforts to bring great content to all of you. Check out my Patreon for more mature fanfiction. The link is in the description and like everywhere on my channel.